A former lawyer for Donald Trump was asked to lie about returning documents taken from the White House at the end of Trump's presidency. Now, the Washington Post is reporting that in early 2022, the ex-president asked his lawyer, former lawyer, Alex Cannon, an attorney who worked for both the Trump organization and the Trump campaign, to tell the National Archives and Records Administration that all the materials that were requested by the agency, again, this has to do with the documents, had been turned over, despite the fact that they were not turned over, and the FBI literally had to go and search Mar-A-Lago and collect the rest of the documents that he had stored there that he shouldn't have, that didn't belong to him. So, all right, now according to the Post, Cannon, who had facilitated the January transfer of 15 boxes of presidential records from Mar-A-Lago to the National Archives, after archive officials agitated for more than a year to get all original presidential records, did not, I repeat, did not feel comfortable making such a claim. So Trump says, hey, go out there. You need to make a statement. You need to tell them, you need to write it down that they have everything. They have all the documents. They don't need any more documents. You have them all. And he was like, no, I don't think I will. No, I'm not exactly, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to tell them something because I don't know for sure. He reportedly told people that he didn't know if all the requested material had been returned, and added that other Trump advisors had encouraged Cannon not to make such a definitive statement. Oh, hey, look, yeah, I mean, Cannon, don't say that. Don't get yourself in trouble. Okay? Just don't do it. Don't make the... You know the history Donald Trump has with lawyers. You know that there are the first people that are under the bus. Rudy Giuliani is literally still stuck under the bus. He ain't getting out. Okay? Yeah, he's been getting dragged for a while now. I mean, look, being Donald Trump's lawyer is basically, you have to look out for yourself because he will ask you to do illegal things. Like, again, lying to the FBI about documents that should be returned because they didn't belong to Trump in the first place. So now, look, a source told the Post that Trump had even packed those boxes himself, and that he seemed determined in February to declare that all of the documents had been returned. So again, he personally went through them, which actually is kind of a surprise to me because that actually involves work. And that is not something that I see Donald Trump doing, actually working and doing something. But, okay, he packed the boxes himself and decided on all the classified or national security material that he would unlawfully keep, okay? Perhaps, of course, to sell to foreign nationals, or maybe somehow might consider them to use as leverage. I don't know. And then told his team to lie, to release a public statement declaring that he had returned, quote unquote, everything. This is what he asked Cannon to say as well, to make a similar statement. Cannon, who apparently has a working brain, okay?
I'm cognitively there.
He has a brain. He's used it, and he's like, no, I'm not going to say that we returned everything. I'm going to make sure to insulate myself because I know how much of a goddamn liar you are. Now, since he didn't do that, he refused the request and eventually was replaced, as this is him not lying for Trump, quote, soured their relationship. And he was replaced by Evan Corcoran, one of the lawyers who actually did do everything that Donald Trump had asked. And of course, Corcoran and Christina Bobb, former OANN host, had also signed a similar document, but not the same. So let me get into that, right? Trump's team ultimately did not release the public statement saying that they had returned everything, but instead released a different message saying that the materials were turned over in a friendly manner, but without saying that they had all been returned. The statement said, the papers were given easily and without conflict and on a very friendly basis. Now, of course, you go on True Social, you'll see that Donald Trump has said the opposite. Oh, no, they came in, they went into Melania's room, they searched through her cupboards, or her closet, they searched through her drawers, they fondled her underwear, they went through everything. Sure they did. Of course they did. Now, at the time, Trump said that is different than the accounts being drawn up by the fake news media. Look, all of that right there, it kind of really shows you how Trump knew of what he had in his possession and not only lied about it, but ordered other people, his lawyers, to lie about it because he wanted to keep these things for himself. And again, of course, the reason I think that he would want to keep them, not because the stupid, excuse like, oh, he just wanted mementos. No, national security and nuclear documents belonging to another country, that is not a memento that you should be able to keep. So, no, he knew that they did not belong to him, okay? And that's why he didn't return the documents. And also, again, that was the problem with him not returning the documents. But to get to my earlier thought, I think he was going to sell them. And he's going to sell them to another country or a foreign power, somebody. So now Corcoran, as I mentioned, who replaced Cannon, lied about it, as well as Christina Bobb. So look, if this reporting is accurate and Cannon did get sidelined for not lying, I'd say that's pretty troublesome. It's pretty damning. Is it surprising? No, of course not. You're kidding me? But damning, yeah. As for the Post, attempts to get Trump's representatives to falsely state that he had no presidential records in his possession could serve as evidence that he was intentionally and knowingly withholding documents. And if Trump continued to pressure aides to make false statements, even after learning the Justice Department was involved in retrieving documents, authorities could see those efforts as an attempt to obstruct their investigation. Obstruction, of course, is a crime. The Post also separately reported that several former aides said that Trump spent his time in office flouting these classification rules and intimidating staffers who might try to take secret intelligence material away from him. So I want to go to that report, because that's also interesting. In that, a longtime advisor who still sees Trump regularly described him as a pack rat and hoarder. Fascinating. That official, former official who knew that Trump took classified information to his White House quarters, says, I can't say what went wrong that resulted in some boxes ending up at Mar-A-Lago, but you can see that as an extension of 4 years of accommodating the president. Really? Accommodation? Is that what you're calling it? No, it's a crime. You're not supposed to take that stuff to Mar-A-Lago. I don't know how they ended up there. I mean, I guess it's just me because we coddled the guy. Those accommodations, by the way, included keeping Kim Jong-un's so-called love letters, right? And I don't call him that. Trump called him that. He says, I fell in love. Me and Kim Jong-un, we fell in love. Okay, great. By the way, he was really proud of that. The reason that he kept those out is so that he could brag to guests at Mar-a-Lago. Look at this murderous dictator. He loves me. It's the love letters from Kim Jong-un. It's unbelievable. He's just so infatuated with dictators. I think we know why. Aides also found other ways to circumvent what they considered to be Donald Trump's sticky fingers. I could make so many jokes. But let's not go that route. Okay. No, don't do it.
Sexual anarchy.
All right. White House staffers had retrieved from the residence documents that Trump had torn into pieces. Then reassembled the papers and returned them to secure facilities so that they could be preserved as presidential records. That, of course, echoes earlier reporting. But remember, there's also other reporting where he would not only just rip up the documents and, throw them around like confetti, but he would also flush them down the toilet.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
So that's what he would do. And others who routinely briefed Trump said that they developed a practice of never leaving classified documents in his possession unless he had demanded them. Many of these former officials also still knew that handing the baby all these documents carried risks, but the reason that they didn't do anything about it is because they were scared of him. One former official said that they, quote, didn't challenge him. Several people singled out Mark Meadows as incapable of telling the president that, basically, no. He just couldn't tell Trump no, which set a tone that others had followed.
Beta male.
All right. Now, that's how he got away with it, by the way. Look, he got away with it because he unmanned the Republicans. The Republicans are so desperate for an alpha male, for a daddy, for a dictator, that they let him get away with all of this stuff. I mean, it's not just flouting norms, right? And doing things a little unconventionally, which, by the way, the Presidential Records Act, it's not like every single president followed it exactly to the letter, right? But with Donald Trump, it got worse. Much, much worse. It's not just, okay, so I forgot to file this, whatever. Here you go. Here's the document back. No, he's literally stealing secrets that did not belong to him and keeping them, hoarding them. For, again, what I think is the purpose of selling them. Now, the report also notes that, again, Trump pushed people around. Another former aide said they would have gotten their heads cut off by the president had they tried to take things from him because he is a baby. Now, does that sound like a very stable genius? No. That sounds like, again, a child and a criminal who didn't believe in serving the country, the United States of America, as a leader, but instead wanting to make the entire country serve him. As I've said it before, that's why Donald Trump loves dictators. He wants to be one. He looks up to them. Now, the thing is, for the time being, we don't live in a dictatorship, which is great. At least, again, not yet. We don't. There is rule of law, but the big question is, does rule of law exist for people in power? Honestly, I'm not sure. Based on everything that we've gone through dealing with the former president and him skating away with everything. So, is there rule of law? Will he answer for the things that he's done? The times that he has broke the law? I'm not sure. And that is scary and dangerous.